Imagine being just 16 years old and setting out to sail alone around the world, without stopping, without help. That's exactly what Jessica Watson did in 2009. This is the true story of a girl who never gave up. Jessica Watson grew up on the Sunshine Coast in Australia. Her home was near the ocean, and she spent most of her time on her family's boat. She loved sailing from a young age and dreamed of doing something big, sailing around the world all by herself. She didn't just dream about it, she worked hard. For 4 years, she studied the ocean, wind patterns, and how to survive at sea. She also found a coach, Ben Bryant, a once great sailor who had sailed around the world 3 times. Ben had his own past struggles, but Jessica convinced him to train her, saying, "I am an adventurer and an explorer." Before her big trip, Jessica wanted to test her boat. On her first night at sea, a big cargo ship hit her boat. She had forgotten to turn on her warning system. It was a big mistake. Her boat got damaged. She quickly called her coach and told him what happened. She gave her location, but Ben, her coach, knew it was wrong. He told Jessica's parents, and they became very worried after talking to her. Luckily, Jessica was only 20 miles from the shore. A rescue team found her and brought her back safely. The media said Jessica was not ready. Many people, including her parents, worried about her safety. Her boat was very small for a young girl to sail alone in the sea. Jessica, Ben, and her parents held a press conference. Reporters asked many tough questions. Some even blamed her parents for letting her go, but Jessica did not give up. The problem was that Jessica's boat needed repairs, but they had no money. After her test failure, sponsors refused to help. On TV, people called Jessica's parents irresponsible for letting her do this, but they didn't lose hope. Jessica's mother encouraged her to stay strong, even in the hardest times. That's when Ben and his old sailing friends came together to fix Jessica's boat, the Pink Lady. Jessica was happy. Her family and everyone around her supported her dream. They worked hard to make the boat ready, but when the media saw this, they started criticizing again. Finally, on October 18, 2009, Jessica set sail from Sydney, Australia, just before the government could pass a law to stop her because she was still a child. Before leaving, she hugged everyone and said goodbye. Her family watched with tears in their eyes as she sailed away on her big adventure. She recorded video blogs daily, sharing her experiences and showing how her journey would be across the ocean. Now she was all alone in the vast sea, and her father Roger, along with Ben, tracked her journey on a map. By day 12, she was near Fiji. She watches big whales jumping out of the water. By day 33, she crossed the equator. Her family celebrates back home. She was officially making history, and she became national sensation over the television. The next morning, Jessica looks out of her cabin window. The sky is painted red. A big storm is coming. She grabs her satellite phone and calls Ben. He tells her to deploy the drogue and prepare for the worst. Jessica's parents are filled with worry. Jessica takes a deep breath and prepares herself. She fastens her safety harness, lowers the sail, and drops the drogue into the water. The storm hits with full force. Massive waves rise, slamming into her boat like a powerful beast. The wind howls. Water rushes onto the deck. Then suddenly, everything goes black. When Jessica wakes up, she is disoriented. Her head throbs. Her parents, terrified, bombard her with questions, fearing she's hurt. Later, she calls Ben. Despite the terrifying experience, she jokes about it, trying to keep her spirits high. By day 50, Jessica reaches South America, with dolphins gliding alongside her boat. Back home, as the media seeks updates, her little sister points them to Jessica's blog, where she shares her journey. By day 72, Jessica has sailed 9,504 miles. That day, she gets exciting news. Emily has been accepted into Sydney University. Over the call, Jessica feels emotional. As Christmas approaches, Jessica and her family celebrate in different parts of the world. Jessica marks the occasion in the middle of the ocean. During lunch back home, Ben explains why Cape Horn is one of the most dangerous places in the world. It's where the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans collide. By day 82, Jessica arrives at Cape Horn, having traveled 10,824 miles. She proves she could handle the most dangerous waters. By day 113, something unexpected happens. For the next 7 days, there is no wind. Her boat stops moving. Jessica is stranded in the middle of the ocean with nothing but water in every direction. The silence, once peaceful, now feels endless and crushing. One night, she argues with Ben over the satellite phone, bringing up a past tragedy, a time when one of his crew members died at sea. She blames him for it. Her words cut deep. Ben, hurt and disappointed, quits as her coach. Jessica felt more alone than ever, but her mother, Julie, reminded her to look at the stars and find strength. Jessica listened, and as she gazed at the night sky, this lifted her spirits. For 7 days, Jessica's boat hasn't moved an inch. Her journey has gone viral, capturing the attention of people around the world. As she shares her struggles online, she confesses how much she wants Ben back as her coach. Her words touch many, and emotions run high among those following her story. Then finally, the wind returns. With her boat back in motion, Jessica regains her joy. She crosses the South Atlantic, then the Indian Ocean. Back home, the media swarms around her house. On day 197, Jessica talks to Emily, who tells her that everyone at the university knows her, and that her pictures are in newspapers worldwide. Suddenly, Jessica notices a strange weather pattern. A massive storm is forming, 3 storms merging into one. She begins preparing to face the storm, determined to push through. Meanwhile, Ben returns, realizing Jessica needs him now more than ever. Julie begs her to head for port and end the journey for her safety. Even Ben, now back as her coach, advises her to change course, a choice that would mean failing her official circumnavigation. But Jessica refuses. She has come too far to quit now. On day 198, she secures herself with safety harnesses. The winds rage at 70 kilometers per hour, and the waves tower like buildings. The storm is here, stronger than anything she has faced before. The waves rise to 60 feet, taller than her boat, as she braces for the most dangerous night of her journey. On day 201, her boat starts leaking. Panic sets in. She grabs her satellite phone and calls home, seeking comfort to distract herself from the fear. But suddenly, the call disconnects. Back home, everyone is terrified. Then the unthinkable happens. A massive wave crashes into the Pink Lady, flipping it upside down and dragging it 15 feet underwater. Jessica's emergency beacon activated, and her team feared the worst. Had she drowned? Everyone in her family gets sad and crying. Then miraculously, the Pink Lady resurfaces. Jessica is alive. The storm that had pushed her to the edge finally passes. She quickly calls home, and the moment her family hears her voice, tears of fear turn into tears of joy. Out in the vast ocean, as the rain begins to fall, Jessica takes it all in. She feels the moment, realizing she has achieved something extraordinary. After 210 days at sea, Jessica finally returns to Sydney Harbour on May 15, 2010. A massive crowd of 80,000 people gathers to welcome her home. Ben, sailing in his own boat to greet her. At exactly 3:33 p.m., Jessica crosses the finish line. The same media that once doubted her now celebrates her as a hero. More and more boats appear, sailing alongside her, honoring her incredible journey. Around the world, people are celebrating. As she steps onto land, the crowd erupts in cheers. It is a moment filled with emotion, inspiration, and triumph. Jessica Watson proved that dreams can come true with courage, hard work, and true spirit. Jessica's story is a reminder that no dream is too big if you believe in yourself. What did you think of her journey? Let us know in the comments. And if you love inspiring true stories, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more.